Okay, this assignment is solving proportions with word problems, and the first page is just solving proportions, cross-multiplying, writing an equation, and then solving for the variable. So we're going to start with that first. Okay, the first page is just solving each proportion, and you know the process of doing this. When we have two fractions, we can use cross products or cross multiplication. I like to find the variable first, multiply that first. That's 2 times x, which is 2x, equals, and 5 times 8, which is 40. Now, all I have to do is isolate the variable by doing the opposite operation on both sides of the equation. So divide this by 2, because this is multiplication right here. So divide by 2, it turns into 1x equals, and 40 divided by 2 is 20. So if I put a 20 here, that would work, because 2 times 4 is 8, and 5 times 4 is 20. So there's more than one way to do these. This is just the quick proportion way, solving using multiplication of cross products. All right, here we go. Number 2. Here's my variable, so I'm going to multiply that. 2y equals 7 times 4, which is 28. Okay, here's my equation. Divide by 2, 1y equals 28 divided by 2 is 14. Now again, if you could look at it like this and say 2 times 2 is 4, 7 times 2 is 14, that will work also. Okay, here's the proportion way for this one. Find the variable, cross multiply. 5b equals 30 times 3 is 90. Divide by 5 on both sides. 1b equals, and 90 divided by 5 is 18. Or 5 times 6 is 30. 3 times 6 is 18. Here we go. There's r, 10r. 10r equals 30 times 2 is 60. Divide by 10, 1r equals 60 divided by 10 is 6. There's my variable in the t. That's going to be 6t equals 18 times 3, 54. Divide by 6, 1t equals 9. Here's my variable. 2m equals 18. Divide by 2, m equals 9. $15K equals 27 times 5, which is 135. Divide by 15 on both sides. K equals 9. Find my variable, x and 20. That's going to be 20x equals 4 times 30, 120. Divide by 20, x equals 6. B times 9 is 9b equals 3 times 24, 72. Divide by 9, divide by 9, 1b equals, and 72 divided by 9 is 8. We're moving quickly through this page. Oh, we got some decimals here. All right, no problem. Same thing. 1.2 times n is 1.2n. 2.4 times 2.4. You know what? I think I remember something that Ms. Strobel did when we made the decimals easier to work with. But I'm going to continue this out first. That's 5.76. Okay. Divide by 1.2. Divide by 1.2. 1 n equals 4.8. I'm just going to leave it at that right now, but I do recall trying to make these a little bit easier to work with. And I think, let's try this one. I think if we move this decimal over once, move this one over once, and we add a decimal here, because the decimal with the 9 is right there, move that over once would be 90. I could look at this as 5/18 equals s over 90. Okay, so, I mean, it just gives me whole numbers to work with. I mean, it would work the same with decimals too. But if you remembered how to do this, then go ahead and do it. Okay, 18s. Oh, wait, I'm going to make it a little cursive s. Equals 5 times 90 is 450. And divide by 18, divide by 18, 1s equals 25. Okay, and it will work if I even left it the same as a decimal. It still will work the same. Okay, well, let's just leave this one the way it is. Find the w and the 8. 8w. And 1.6 times 16 is 25.6. Divide by 8. Divide by 8. 1w equals 3.2. It looks like a 2. I made that a little sloppy there. Hold up. 3.2. All right, and what's this one? Find the solution and round to the nearest tenth. Okay, no problem. Let's just start right here. 3n equals 4.3 times 2.2. And that equals 9.46. Divide by 3, divide by 3, n equals 3.15333. So that's repeating. I'm going to find the 10th spot because I think it says round to the nearest 10th. The 10th spot is right here. So can a 5 round to 1? Yes. So that's going to be 3.2. Final answer. All right, so we're done with that page. That did not take that long. Took us about 10 minutes to do that, all of that so far. So let's move on to the next page. All right, now we have some word problems, and the hardest part with the word problems is setting them up. Once we get them set up, this is a piece of cake. Okay, so we just kind of have to think about what the problem is saying. So it says the ratio of boys to girls in history class is 4 to 5. Do you see how it has the word 2 here and the word 2 here? You need to notice that. Boys to girls, 4 to 5. Okay, and that information goes together. Now, the other thing I notice about this information is 4 to 5. I can write that as a fraction. 4 fifths, 4 to 5. Okay? And it says boys to girls, 4 to 5. So the 4 is going to go with the first number. So that's going to be boys. And the 5 is going to go with the second, which is going to be girls. So let's think about that. The ratio of boys to girls in history class is 4 to 5. So the 4 goes with the boys, and the 5 goes with the girls. So now I set up my other part of the proportion here. If I wrote boys here, and I put girls here, that means on this part of the fraction, I have to keep it consistent. This has to stay boys, and this has to stay girls. Okay, so I'm almost done. So far, I wrote down the 4, I wrote down the 5, and now I still have this 12 here. It says, how many girls are in the class if there are 12 boys in the class? Well, I have this value 12. It says 12 boys. So would I put the 12 here, or would I put the 12 here? Well, I would put the 12 here, because it says 12 boys, and that's where I put boys. And it says how many girls are in the class. Well, we don't know that, so that is where my variable would go, because I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how many girls. So now I have my proportion set up, and now I just have to solve the math. So I'm going to make it a little bit more clear. I have 4 fifths equals 12 over x. That's the math right there. 4, 5, 12 over x. Now I just have to simply solve that. So there you go, 4x, and this is just what I've been doing this whole time here so far. That would be 4x equals, and 5 times 12, which is 60. And then divide by 4, x, 1x equals 15. Now, since this is a word problem, this 15 means something, and it means how many girls are in the class. So that answer would be 15 girls in the class. Because we have a word problem, we need to answer the problem with words. All right, so that's that first problem. Let's go to number 2. Let's see if we can decipher this one. Okay, we have factories. A factory produces 6 motorcycles in 9 hours. Write a proportion, and then solve it to find how many hours it would take to produce 16 motorcycles. Okay, so first I want to find a fraction with the numbers that go together. And right now I see 6 motorcycles in 9 hours. That information goes together. So I'm going to write that as a fraction. 6 and 9, 6m for motorcycles, and 6 hours for hours. So now I have that, so I'm going to put m for motorcycles here, and I'm going to write hours here. So now I used the 6, I used the 9, and now I have to put 16 motorcycles somewhere, and the motorcycles is going to go right here where the m is, so I'm going to put 16 right here, and I have to figure out how many hours. So now the math is written out, and I just have to make it a little bit easier to look at. So that's going to be 6 over 9 equals 16 over x. So I'll find that x and that 6. That's going to be 6x equals, and 9 times 16 is 144. Okay, divide by 6, 1x equals 144 divided by 6 is 24. Okay, so there's my answer with words, or with number, but now I have to put it with words. 24 what? It says, well, write a proportion itself. How many hours it takes to produce 16 motorcycles? So it will take 24 hours to produce 16 motorcycles. Okay. Final answer in word and a little complete sentence there. Very good. Okay, here we go. James read, oh, this is about someone I know named James. James read 4 pages in a book in 6 minutes. How long would you expect him to take to read 6 pages? Okay, so I see some numbers here. I see a 4, a 6, and a 6. I need to find out what information goes together. Well, right here in this sentence, it says James read 4 pages of a book in 6 minutes. That information goes together. He read 4 pages in 6 minutes. Okay, so if I wrote pages here and minutes there, I'm going to write pages here and minutes here. Okay, so I wrote down this 4, I wrote down this 6. How long would you expect him to take to read 6 pages? So I'm going to put that 6 right there because it says 6 pages. How long is how many minutes? There's my x. So now I have 4 over 6 equals 6 over x. Find my 4, my 6, my x, that's 4x equals, and 6 times 6 is 36. Okay, divide by 4, divide by 4. 1x equals, and 36 divided by 4 is 9. But I have to put that in words because it's a word problem. So how long would it take him? It will take him 9 minutes to read 6 pages. Nice. All right, cooking. A recipe that will make 3 pies calls for 7 cups of flour. Look at that information right there goes together. Immediately, I'm going to write down 3 pies calls for 7 cups of flour. So pie, anything about pies will go here, and cups will go here. Okay, so write a proportion. I started already. I used my 3 and my 7. And solve it to find how many pies can be made with 28 cups of flour. Well, where am I going to put that 28? By the pies or by the cups? Well, it says 28 cups. So I'll put it right here. 28 cups. There I go. There's my proportion. It's going to be 3 over 7 equals x over 28. So there's my 7 and my x. That's 7x equals, and 3 times 28 is, wait, hold up, 84. And then divide by 7, x equals 84 divided by 7, 12. So, what's the question? Okay, wait. Write a proportion, solve how to find how many pies can be made with 28 cups. So my final answer will be 12 pies with 8 cups of flour. 12 pies with 8 cups of flour. All right, here we go. Typing. All right. Sarah can type 90 words in 4 minutes. About how many words would you expect her to type in 10 minutes? This information goes together. Sarah can type 90 words in 4 minutes. 90 words in 4 minutes. That goes together. So words, minutes. How many words would you expect her to type in 10 minutes? 10 is going to go here. X is going to go there. So I have 90 over 4 equals X over 10. Well, there's my 4X. 4X equals 90 times 10, 900. Divide by 4, divide by 4. X equals 900 divided by 4, 225. And that means what? 205. How many words would you expect her to type in 10 minutes? Well, that would be 225 words in 10 minutes. All right. Basketball, my favorite. It is basketball season. All right, let's see. The Lakewood Wildcats won 5 of their first 7 games this year. There are 28 games in the season. How many games would you expect the Wildcats to win this season? All right, what information goes together? Well, the Lakewood Wildcats won 5 of their first 7 games. So they won 5. 5 were won out of 7 games. How many will they win? 1 games. There are 28 games in the season. How many games would you expect them to win this season? Well, the 28 games total will go here. 28 games, and how many will we expect them to win? There's my word win right there, because I put 1 games, just like that. 7 times X. wait, I'm going to go back. Hold up a second. I'm going to write out the math problem first. So 5 over 7 equals X over 28. There's my 7X. And 5 times 28 is 140. Okay. And then divide by 7, divide by 7. X equals 20. Okay, so what does that mean? 20 would go there. 20 win. Okay, so how many games did you expect the Wildcats to win? They can win, or they are expected to win 20 games this season. Let's not put they can. Let's put they expect to win 20 games this season. I know it's sloppy, but that's the idea. All right, here we go. Food. 2 slices of Dan's famous pizza have 230 calories. How many calories would you expect to be in 5 slices of the same pizza? Okay, so what information goes together? 2 slices of pizza have 230 calories. 2 slices have 230 calories. Slices, calories. Okay. How many calories? Well, I don't know how many calories would you expect to be in 5 slices? 5 goes there with slices. So I have 2 over 230 equals 5 over X. 2X equals, and 230 times 5 is 1,150. divide by 2, divide by 2. X equals 575. 575 what? How many calories would you expect to be in 5? So 575 calories in 5 slices of pizza. So eat right there. Last problem. Okay, here we go. Oh, I love this one too. Okay, so Andy paid $1.40 for 4 grapefruits. That information goes together. Write a proportion and solve it to find how many grapefruits he could purchase for $2.10. Okay, let's go back to the information that's together. Andy paid $1.40 for 4 grapefruits. That all goes together. So he paid $1.40 for 4 grapefruit. I'll just put GF for grapefruit. So I'm going to put a $sign here and GF for grapefruit here. Just like I did here, here, grapefruit, grapefruit. Okay, do you see that? I'm labeling. It's really important to label these kind of problems. Okay, so I wrote down $1.40 for 4 grapefruits. Write a proportion and solve it and find how many grapefruits can he purchase for $2.10. Well, the $2.10 is going to go right here. I have a $sign right here, so I could see that. How many grapefruits? I don't know. We have to figure that out. So I got $1.40 over 4 equals 210 over x. There's my x. So that's going to be $1.40 x equals, and 4 times 210 is 8.4. Okay, divide by $1.40. Divide by $1.40. X equals 6. Wow, that's an easy answer. What does that 6 mean? Write a proportion to solve how many grapefruits. So that would be 6 grapefruits. Now I have to write it out because it's a word problem and it's my final answer. 5 grapefruits, or 6 grapefruits for $2.10. Right there. All right, so that's the end of all those work. Look at all that work we did. Woo! Not so bad though. You just gotta think it out, write out. Like I said, I like to write out my thinking first, and then make it simple to look at, just like that. All right. Good luck. I know you could do this. Okay, bye.